So yeah, so there's a challenge to create an argument for why Desert Bus is a good game with an excellent storyline. Which I feel like you could be, you're pretty qualified to talk about. I mean, as somebody who's played a lot of Desert Bus and who has some, video game reviewing experience.
It's true. I did review video games in high school.
I feel like that
for
could
a
be a good
while.
one.
Yeah, crazy.
Like, what would you say, like, in comparison to, say,
that's fine.
some
That
of the
one's
new
good.
games that have come out recently?
Yeah.
Well, Paul, I'm thinking about what I see in video game stories, and traditionally the video game story has been something that's been sort of tacked on afterwards. Like, create the gameplay first,
Right.
and then the story has to sort of bend around it. So you hire like a big name screenwriter to write whatever Gears of War. But really, you've got a bunch of set pieces because you want to like have the riding the monster bit and the like driving the vehicle bit and whatnot. And then the writer just has to run around like a magical fairy throwing fairy dust on things to make it all fit together. With Desert Bus, I see a holistic experience, right?
It's really integrated.
Yeah, from beginning to end. And it's emergent, right? Like the story really is in the game. But at the same time, I mean, look at this character, right? Character definition. We have a name. This is not, I mean, even Commander Shepard doesn't really have a name, at least not one that shows up in the game. You can name your Shepard, but you don't ever see anyone refer to Shepard as Shepard. Whereas here, you see your name the entire time that you play. It is right in your face.
Some good sort of RPG type elements.
Right. I feel that is if that's not character building, then what is?
Yeah.
If nothing else, you know who you are.
Right. Exactly. And your world is largely defined. I mean, you can see all the other characters at once, in that there are no characters. Right. So it does a good job of world building there. I feel like Metroid was always praised for the sense of isolation, the sense of like being alone throughout the game, the atmosphere that creates. Well, I mean, Desert Bus, again, there's no lonelier game. There's just from a raw storytelling perspective, right? You want to have your rising action, right? You want to have your climax, and you want to have your denouement, right? You want to have some time for things to calm down. And some people not so into the denouement these days. I saw a lot of complaints about True Detective, about how that sort of had the long ending trail after the big climax, and people were like, well, what even happens in that show in like half of the last episode? But no, I like that. It gives you a nice calm way to tie things off. And look at this, Desert Bus. Even after you get to Vegas, you have a nice long denouement.
Yeah.
Pretty much the rest of the game.
You also have like a lot of small narrative beats that mean something, but they're really hard to predict. Right?
It's true. Like
they're technically evenly spaced, but you just get so lost in the feeling of this narrative that you're like, when is this going to happen?
Completely immersed in the simulation of not paying attention to driving.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like Desert Bus, for all those reasons, pulls off narrative better than most games.
5 stars.
At least 2.5 stars out of 5.
Both compelling and cinematic.
Both cinematic and compelling.
Yeah, I think maybe it would be good to take a roll on the device.